Well, we made it home, and it took about a day and a half of hard driving. But when I left, everything was dead. There was snow and ice on the ground, and now everything is green. And I was surprised to come home and see some of my flowers already blooming. In fact, a few of them have already started closing up. So now the real work begins. Unpacking parts of the camper that need to be unpacked and restocked and refreshed to get ready for summer camping events. And then also going through my home and seeing what all needs to be taken care of, because my husband lived here for 3.5 months by himself. And so I'm going through the cupboards, the pantry, checking out and seeing what I have and what I need. So quite a big job to tackle ahead of me, but I'm just going to take my time and find a new appreciation of home. You can probably hear it raining behind me. It decided to rain my first day home as a welcome present when I was trying to get a few things done. But that's okay, because I'm going to look through my stockpile today and see what all I have. As you can see, I have some basics and some staple items that will get us through. I also have room in the refrigerator for the items that I had in the camper. That was good. He didn't have much in there. I have room in the freezer, and I have some weird stuff in my pantry that I want to get used up. And I'm going to try to figure out how to use that up in new ways so I can make space to have my stockpile more usable for the things that I do need. I want to save my shopping dollars for the more usable items. I've been tricked before into buying things that were on sale or on clearance, and then we didn't end up using them. Or I had to find a creative way to use them, and he didn't keep the board from getting smeared, so I have to fix my inventory board, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So as I've been going through things that I took with me to use up and things that I had here that were maybe some of those weird things that we purchased and didn't know what to do with because I had a coupon or something, I try to make the most out of those, and then I just know I'm never going to buy them again. So in this next clip, I'm going to share with you one of the things that I made out of the plant crumbles that I bought. I was disappointed with those. I had heard they tasted a lot like hamburger, and they just really didn't. They're not something I'm going to buy again. I had bought them on a coupon, but I was able to use them where they didn't waste for something that I could eat. They are not gluten-free, but they're something that I could eat. So here's that video. So the trick to using up something that you bought that you don't really care for just has to do with putting it with some other things that you do like to make it taste good. So I bought that plant meat crumbles and I did not like them. And then I added taco seasoning, made it a little bit better, added onion, had some croissants in a tube that my mother-in-law had given me, wrapped up the meat in that with a couple of strips of red pepper, and then added on the side some avocado and some sour cream, and it made them delicious. So don't totally give up on your food. If you've bought something you don't care for, just figure out another way to eat it. Going forward, I'm planning on doing a lot of just gap shopping, just getting the things that I need that are on sale or clearance or a good buy to go with the things that I already have. That's the way I've been shopping for a while through inflation. It has worked wonderfully. That's how we're able to keep our budget so low. And we spend about $295 a month on food. That also includes cat food, household supplies. So that is what we spend every month for 2 people, which I think is pretty good. And if I can spend less than that, I do. And if I can find things that I can stock up with and use my dollars for that, I do that as well. I want to save my shopping dollars for those things that I can pack rat back, that are good buys, and use the space that I have and yet clear up some of that back room tote things that I have going on, that's some of the weird stuff. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on over the next few months, is using some of that up. Here's a few of the things that I was able to get on my first trip looking for markdowns to stock up what we had replaced. I was able to get 4 packages of bacon. They're 12 ounce for $2.99. This is one thing I really watch for because it's gone from 16 ounce to 12 ounce, but $2.99 for 12 ounces is still a pretty good deal. Then I was able to pay $2.99 for 1 pound of cheese. We were out of that in the freezer. I got 3 packages of that. I got 5-pound potatoes for $1.99 a bag. I was able to get a marked down loaf of bread for $1.04. They had eggs on a special, $1.49 a dozen. These were over $3 a dozen when I left Texas. And then I was able to get 4 of the ground sausage. My husband likes to make breakfast scrambles. He makes breakfast every day before he goes to work. And these were 16 ounces, which again, this is another thing that's gone down to 12 ounces. We really have to watch that shrinkage. And they were 2 for $5. So $2.50 each, not bad for a pound of ground sausage, one of the cheaper meats we can buy right now. And then they had a bunch of this 80-20 hamburger patties. I bought those and they were over a pound each, as you can see, equaling out to $2.79 a pound. Their regular chub roll that was 80-20 was $3.99 a pound. So saved quite a bit there. My price point on hamburger is under $2.99 a pound. So if I don't find it under that, then we don't buy it. And we were down to just a few patties left in the freezer, so I was able to restock there. The main reason that I went was to get some medicines refilled. I told you I signed up for this Kroger savings plan. It was $36 a year. The medicine was $21.10 for a 90-day supply, and I saved $232.39 with that Kroger Health Savings Plan that I purchased. Now, if you go shopping, they say that Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best sales days. That's the days that those sales flyers come out, so you can jump on those loss leaders and maybe catch some clearance items at the same time. I have found if you can go when the store first opens, you can get some of that clearanced meat. If you need clearanced bakery, that's also a way you could do that. But you can jump on that before everybody else gets in there. Now, I know a lot of people work and they can't do that. But when I worked in the bakery in a grocery store back when I was going to college, that's the first thing we did every day. We pulled everything that didn't have a fresh date, marked it down immediately, put it on the clearance rack. So that's how you can jump on some of those deals if you have the opportunity to stop there before work, or you have the opportunity to stop there after work and things haven't been picked up, or you're retired like me and you can go when the store opens. I plan on doing more homemade spices this summer, more homemade items in general like extracts, and I'm going to be sharing those recipes with you. So I hope you will stick around as we go through this summer doing some more homestead items to save money with things that we already probably have just as a staple in our home. As I was heading home and following my husband in the RV, I thought, this feels different. It feels different than any vacation I've ever been on. It feels different than anything I've ever done when I was coming home. And I think the reason is when I come home normally, I have a job to go to the next day. I didn't have that this time. I retired, and I realized that that sense of dread in coming home was gone. That I was coming home to a whole new world, a whole new life, a whole new set of possibilities that didn't include me setting an alarm, getting up in the morning and going to work and having limited time to do all of these things that I had dreamed about. I was coming home without that dread that always had been in me, and I knew it was there, but it took me driving behind him to realize that it had just fluttered away at some point. My father-in-law and my mother-in-law are such positive people, and I loved the experience being with them this winter. And I asked my father-in-law when we were down there, I said, would you want to live here full time? And his response was, I can live anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I thought, that is the secret to happiness, that attitude. I can live anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I thought if we could just approach that, and I could approach that going forward, it's so much easier to find happiness within right where we are. So I'm going to share with you in the next video part of my coming home, because I know that you all enjoy seeing the country and seeing the sights that I have seen on this trip, and I've enjoyed sharing those with you. So I hope you will stick around for the clip of me coming home. Thank you for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we talk about more money-saving items we can do right here on the homestead with items that we probably already have.